Now, more than 1,500 employees have been dismissed by Eskort in Gauteng. It's reported that workers were fired after wage negotiations deadlocked. Among other matters, they had been demanding a 15% salary increase and the conversion of casual workers into permanent employees. COSATU in Gauteng says this is unacceptable. I'm joined now by the union's Amos Monyela. A very good morning to you. Thank you for your time. Talk to us about what really happened here.
Good afternoon to you and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. What has happened is that workers from Eskort has called the Federation last week on Thursday, informing us they've been dismissed after the deadlock of the negotiations. And we had to go and listen to them because neither of our affiliate is organizing at Eskort. Then we were told by scores of workers, almost more than 1,500 workers outside Eskort, explaining their challenge as it relates to the wage negotiations, wherein the employer was not acceding to their demands, and they decided to go on a strike. Whilst they were on a strike, the employer issued them an ultimatum that they must report to work. When they were preparing to report to work, the employer decided to dismiss all of them. Now, when we got in there, the situation was a bit dire and a bit worrying for the Federation, in a sense that workers have been engaging with the employer, but then the employer decided to take a different direction. So we released a statement that's agreed with those workers, and we'll want us to meet with the employer. Whilst we're in the process of doing that, we're told that now workers are given new contracts. So they asked an advice from the Federation, what should they do? We said, no, you can get into a new contract and get back into the workplace so that we can come back and assist you when you are inside the workplace, because we may not say don't get into those contracts. But then what is shocking with the contract is that the employer has given them new conditions of service without even giving them their dues after they've been dismissed. Their pension was not given to those workers. But then in the contract is that the salaries were reduced. That those who have been working for Eskort for 37 years, they've been earning around 10,000. Now their salary has been reduced to between 5,000 and 6,000 rands. Everyone's salary has been reduced in the new contract. They are now back at work. The Federation is trying to get inside the workplace so that we can engage with the employer, particularly on the dismissal part, as well as the loss of their benefits when we are trenched or when we are displaced. It is where we are as the Federation. Like I said earlier, we're not organized within that thing, but then when workers are calling for help, COSATU, as the leading federation of workers, will respond to those workers and try to help them. This is what we are currently doing, assisting those workers.
Let's perhaps go back a few steps where the negotiations, the first initial negotiations were taking place. How much of a percentage were workers calling for?
Workers were calling for a 15% salary increase or wage increase.
So with that proposal of 15%, the employer then rejected that, leading to the ripple effect that you speak of now, where new contracts have been drafted. Is that what you say?
Yes, that's what we are saying. The employer gave them 6%, and then some were saying it has moved to 6.5%, and that's what has caused a big issue. The biggest issue also, you can even leave the percentage part of it, is that workers are doing the same job but are not paid the same salary. Some of them has been casual for quite some time. So those were some of the things that workers were saying. If you deal with these issues, also address the issue of equalization of salaries, address the issue of making people permanent in terms of the Labor Relations Act, that when you're on a contract for 3 months, automatically after 3 months, you should be permanent. So workers were also raising those issues that they've been there for quite some time, but then some of them are still contract workers and are paid differently than other workers.
So what has Eskort management had to say in terms of, allowing you to engage with them? And of course, it's shocking that now salaries have now been reduced after the initial call was for an increase.
Yeah, so we're writing a letter to them to ask for an engagement with them. So far, The letter is not yet out, but then it will be out because we're trying to tie some of the ends loose, knowing that we are not even recognized by them, and we are a federation, we are not a trade union. So a letter will be sent to Eskort today because we started intervening on Friday, and then we'll wait for Eskort to respond to our request for a meeting with them to try and assist in resolving this impasse. We just want to assist the employer as well as those workers at Eskort, even if when we are as shocked as we are about what they did, but ordinarily we want to help all of them.
How are you hoping to escalate the matter further, should you not be able to intervene as you're planning to?
Well, we will use our power as a federation. We'll have to mobilize our affiliates to go and picket outside Eskort. We'll have to engage with the community at Ratanda. There is a community forum there that has always also assisted these workers when they were facing trouble. So we'll have to mobilize as much as we can to deal with this matter. But then we'll have also to take some of the things to the CCMA, help these workers through the process of the CCMA, and on the other side engage with the Department of Labor on the things which are not in line with the laws of our country, so that we're able to exert a bit of pressure to Eskort. But then we're hoping that when they receive our letter, they'll let us engage with them so that we are able to help and assist to deal with the impasse. As we speak now, these workers are at work because they are afraid of losing their jobs in totality. They've lost their jobs. They've been given a second opportunity. They've taken the second opportunity, but then they've taken that second opportunity under duress. If you can look into the conditions of our country, unemployment is rife. So those workers said when we're advising them that you can do this, and they say no, we'll do it because we will not allow our kids to starve. But then we're not happy with what the employer is doing. So hence we need help. So we'll have to put as much pressure as we can in order to get the employer to the table with their union or a new union that we can put in place so that there can be those engagement. But then believe you us, the federation will be there with those workers. Will picket, even if those workers will be inside working. Us as the federation will be picketing outside the Eskort until we are ahead, until we are engaging and resolve the whole issue.
Do you believe you may have failed workers by not intervening sooner?
Well, those members are not members of COSATU. We wouldn't know what was happening. They only came to us when they realized that their union, the union that they've affiliated with, might have failed them or might have taken a different direction. So then they call COSATU. So if we were there in the first instance and one of our trade union is organizing them, we will have intervened on time. But then now we are not organized in them. Neither of our affiliate is organized at Eskort.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time. Amos Monyela, chairperson of COSATU Gauteng, speaking to the Eskort, which has dismissed and reinstated 1,500 of its employees, an ongoing matter that they're hoping to resolve over wage increases.